Hi everyone, welcome to Must Read Monday. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian with the Twin Lakes Libraries, and I use they, them pronouns. You haven't seen me in 2 months because I broke my arm at the beginning of November, so November 5th, broke this arm right here, fell off a ladder. If you want the full details, you can come talk to me. We can talk about the trauma of breaking a bone and going to the ER and getting surgery and being helpless for a long time. It's been a journey. It has been a journey. I might be doing a video at some point of books involving physical trauma, hurt, comfort, who knows, just to get that out of my system. Anyways, I read a lot while I was at home. Listened to a lot of audiobooks, and so I'm just going to kind of recap some of what I went through. But first of all, one recommendation, and it's not a young adult series, but I feel like older teens or just teens who enjoy sci-fi action movies and don't mind language, you would probably really love this, but it's the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, and I listen to the audiobooks because I think the narration is fantastic. And while I was in bed, sitting propped up, and I couldn't sleep, and my arm was killing me, and everything was terrible, I wasn't able to pick up a book and read, and I don't think I would have been able to anyways. I re-listened to that series, and it, definitely took me out of my head for a while, and I got to experience everything through the eyes of Murderbot. So it's a fantastic series, and the newest book just came out last year, in the fall, and so that's why I was kind of wanting to revisit it. But the main character is Murderbot, who, how to even summarize Murderbot? It's a construct, so it's created as a security unit, so it has what it calls organic and inorganic parts, and looks human, is not human, does not want to be human. Anyways, Murderbot hacks its governor module, sets itself free, and is now trying to discover what it wants to do now it has its freedom, and it's fantastic. Very wry and sarcastic and dark humor, lots of great adventures, lots of great characters. So that's my pitch for not a young adult series, but so good. Okay, so getting into other stuff I've read. First up, Tiger Tiger. This is a webcomic, so you can read it online for free, or you could check out this gorgeous volume. I am a huge fan of it. I really need to catch up on the webcomic, but it is about the main character who steals her brother's identity, steals his ship and his crew, and is sailing around the world to study sea sponges because she does not want to be a proper lady and get married and all that. She's not interested. Well, her first mate is her fiance, they have an arranged marriage, and so she's sworn him to secrecy, don't tell the rest of the crew I'm not my brother. There's monsters, there is romantic subplots that I love, there's adventure, and just it is highly entertaining. I love all the characters. I had so much fun reading this. If You'll Have Me, this is just kind of a sweet college romance. I say sweet, it's kind of bittersweet. I feel as both of the characters are kind of navigating becoming friends and becoming more. You've got one character who has a reputation for kind of being with a lot of people and seeing a lot of people and not really having a steady relationship. Meanwhile, you have a character who's never dated before, so there's a lot of miscommunication between them, so that's why I'm it's kind of bittersweet, but it is very, very good. Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen. This is the cookbook. I love it. I am such a big fan of the manga, and this is just really sweet because you finally get kind of like this behind the scenes version of the two witches who the younger ones are apprenticed to, and kind of seeing them in their downtime when they're cooking, when they're preparing meals for everyone. And yeah, it does guide you through all the recipes, so you could cook these things yourself. So on the one hand, it's a cookbook. On the other hand, it is also like kind of little side stories that I liked a lot. Okay, fiction. Unexpecting. This was, not like anything I've really read, but the main character, Ben, gets his best friend, Maxie, pregnant, and it was a big accident. Both of them are huge science geeks. They were at science camp, and even though Ben is gay, and he had recently come out, somebody's like, well, how do you know you're gay? You never been with a woman. And he's like, well, let's test this hypothesis with some hands-on experience. And his friend Maxie is like, well, I don't believe in the social construct of virginity, and let's just get this over with. So they, it's not described in the book what happens, but they have sex, and then later Maxie is pregnant, and it's like, oh no. So yeah, it is crazy. I found the book to be stressful just because of Ben's like anxiety and everything, as he's trying to be like, well, Maxie, she and her parents decide she's gonna have the baby and put it up for adoption, but Ben is like, I want to keep the baby, it's my baby, I want to raise it. And everyone is like, you're 16 years old, you're not ready, so he's having to make all these steps to become ready to be a father, and sort of how that impacts all of his relationships, his school, everything. It is a lot, and I feel like it's done really well. It really gets into family dynamics really well, and kind of stuff that Ben has never unpacked or addressed with his mom or any of his stepdads. So it was very good. Blood Debts. Okay, this is so much drama, I can't even. Set in New Orleans, and when I first saw this, I thought it was going to be old-timey just because of how the characters are dressed. It's not. It's present day, but it has to do a lot with magic existing in our world, and kind of people trying to put laws in place to control magic users and everything. And then there's different types of magic. But anyways, this family has kind of had a run of really bad luck, and they came from a very powerful magic family in their community, and now the brother and sister, Christian and Clement, they are trying to figure out who has been cursing and hexing them, and what they're gonna do about it. And there's so much family drama. I was like, what is wrong with this family? Why cannot one person be nice to anyone? And you find out. And there's a sequel coming out soon. Definitely recommend it. And finally, Charming Young Man. I just read this one over the weekend. I read it in one night, could not put it down. It's a historical kind of reimagining of a real life person's life. I should have looked up how to pronounce his name, so sorry, Leon Delafosse. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He was a real life French pianist and composer, and so this is kind of about his introduction into Parisian high society, and he's getting a patron, and he's all he wants to do is play the piano and write music, but he's got to play these social games. And he's from the country, he's from a poor family, he knows nothing. The whole time I was like, oh God, don't let anything bad happen to him, which is weird because he's a real person and he's already dead. But very engaging. I loved it.